Games. That's the answer. It's always been about games. It's always been about the games we love, the games we cherish for, the games we aspire to play. We're not talking about the live service games that we keep on seeing. We're not talking about the games that are trying to fit a quota of, oh, this is artistic. Yes, some people like artistic games, but for most people and for most avid gamers, we care about games that give us great experiences. There's a reason why the Xbox 360 was revered as the best Xbox console that ever came out, and that's because of the software. The software sells the hardware. You don't do well on the software, the hardware doesn't sell. And it's so weird coming from me that in 2024, especially when we just went through the year 2023, was where we had bangers after bangers after bangers after bangers of games that came out every single month, every week. It feels like 2024 has started off as started off very slow, and it feels like things are about to ramp up. But at the same time, even though things are ramping up in regards to the games we get, I don't think things are going to ramp up in regards to the console sales. And that just has to do with the lack of exclusives. In the year of 2024, and even, let's not just go to just this year alone. Let's talk about this generation of the PlayStation 5 and the Series X. Exclusives were such a predominant reason why the PlayStation 4 back in 2016 and all the way up to 2019 killed the Xbox. It had to do with the games. It had to do with the experiences. You had the likes of Uncharted 4. You had the likes of God of War. You had the likes of Horizon Zero Dawn. You had the likes of Last of Us Part 2. You had so many great games that came out during that time that changed people, that turned experiences, that made people love gaming, that made people want to become gamers. Now in 2024, you would think that we would go off the same premise of, oh yeah, more exclusives, more bangers, everyone's going to be on the same form, but it just comes to find out that things aren't going to be as they were back then, and that's because of how expensive and how long it takes to actually make these games. Now take for example, right, Concord just came out. For all self-fun purposes, I think Concord looks like a very good game. I think it looks well, but here's the thing about Concord, it's the same generic games that we've been dealing with for the past 5 years. Live service, first-person shooter, quirky characters, no story, no pacing, all about live service combat. There's nothing wrong with multiplayer games. Hell, Helldivers 2 just came out, and Helldivers 2 is probably, in all self-fun purposes, a PS3 game with PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 graphics, and it is killing it. Why? Because it's doing something different, because it's doing something unique. Yes, it's a live service game, but it's a live service game that has a critical element to it. It has that defining feature that makes it stand out from every single live service game. The year of 2016 was when Overwatch came out. Now, I would understand if most gaming developers and most gaming publishers release a game similar to Overwatch because you want to capitalize on Overwatch, which is all fine for everything else. The issue is when 2024, that was 9 years ago. We aren't going through the same trends that happened 9 years ago to be applied this year. That's why a game like Suicide Squad has turned out to be a flop. Concord is releasing at $40. Whether that becomes a flop or not, we'll wait to see. I wish the developers the best, but honestly, it's sad that we're seeing the likes of PlayStation come out to release games that aren't what we're asking for. In 2024, there aren't any exclusives, especially on the PlayStation side. Now, going on to the Xbox side, Hellblade 2 came out. Hellblade 2 was seen as a cinematic masterpiece. It looked well, the graphics were done right, the fidelity was awesome. The game was inexistent. There was no game. It felt like a tech demo. Even though I liked Hellblade 2 for what it was, I could also criticize the fact that it is not the game that people wanted it to be. It's not the game we wanted it to be, especially for a game that spends maybe at most 3 years to develop. Didn't do much to actually get the name Hellblade 2, a sequel in a franchise. Everything I'm saying, take it with a grain of salt. Also goes down to the fact that there's a lack of exclusives. Xbox has led the charge with the lack of exclusives. You have games releasing on the PC. PlayStation is also following suit, releasing games on the PC. There's obviously no reason why, as someone who's an avid gamer, would spend money on a console knowing fully well that you could get the best experience on the PC. The reason why the likes of the PlayStation 3, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox 360, the Xbox One, less the Xbox One, did well was because of the experiences. The Nintendo Switch is doing super well because of the experiences you get on the console that isn't available anywhere else. You lose that sense of experience, that sense of premium quality that you're going to get when you buy a console, when you release the games on other platforms. Now, for someone like me, that is fine. I have a PC, I'm eating well, I'm eating good. I don't know about you guys who are watching this, but I think we can all agree that the lack of exclusives plays a very pivotal role with why the consoles aren't selling as well, aren't doing well in regards to sales, aren't selling blockbusters. It just goes without saying that exclusives matter in the console market space. If you don't have exclusives, why on earth am I buying your console? Now, here's the thing. Most casual gamers play majority of just 4 games. I call these games the Negro games. Fortnite, Madden, NBA 2K, FIFA. Let me even add one more. And COD. Every single game I just mentioned is also available on the PlayStation 4 and on the previous Xbox system. So tell me guys, why on earth should you buy a PlayStation 5 or a Series X if the games you play are already on the console you have? There's no reason for me to adopt the new console if I'm not going to get the new experiences. Even with the exclusives that do come out on the PlayStation 5, they also still come out on the PlayStation 4. So it's like something has to give. I don't know what has to give. I don't know what you think has to give, but I know for a fact that if things keep on going the way they are, I don't see points why people are still going to buy console. I don't think I've ever been in a period where console prices go up. We're 4 years into the generation and the prices of the consoles are still at market, are still at release price. Defeats the whole purpose of buying a console now. Because here's the thing, right? It's a matter of you need to provide value for you to actually charge a price for a certain product. If I feel like the price you're charging for this product isn't what it should be, you've lost on a customer or you've lost on a potential customer. And that's the thing about this. That's the thing about why the consoles aren't doing as well. The PC is probably the best place for you to play your games. Now, with that being said, PC gaming has its own flaws, has its own caveats. There are a lot of things you have to figure out with PC. And for those of you who are still trying to figure out if console gaming is still for you and you want to make the jump into PC gaming, I actually have another video that you could actually see right now that talks about my experiences recently jumping into PC gaming last year. And it's a 50-50, honestly. If you're up for it, go for it. If you're not, it's respectable. Leave in the comment section down below what you think. Are you still into consoles? Are you into PC? If you're into PC, what's your rig looking like? Thanks for watching the video. Hope to hear from you soon. Peace out.